change to page 2. Kind of same idea. I'm looking at this now, and I'm seeing this to be a little bit more like a sine curve, but upside down. Remember, sine goes like that. This one looking just like an upside down sine. So I'm thinking it's going to be a negative something sine. That's not a 0 there. I'm making that just more like a box to fill in that we're going to say like, oh, negative what sine? But nonetheless, making that a coefficient there is going to be a negative. All right, find that middle line. If right there is negative 4, then halfway, negative 2. Looks like the middle line is negative 2. D is negative 2. And if I look to find the minimum, that's probably the easier distance to find, just because we've got a scale down here. So that would be negative 2, 4, 6, 8, negative 8. So the distance from negative 2, the middle line, to negative 8 would be a distance of 6. Yeah, negative 6 maybe because it's down, but nonetheless the amplitude is 6. Okay, so the amplitude is 6, but because we already said that A is going to be a negative number, we're actually going to use A equals negative 6. The amplitude is 6, but that A coefficient is negative, causing it to flip upside down. All right, what's next? Find the period. All right, so again, I wish I knew that. I wish I knew that number. I don't know if it's going to be perfectly to scale. Like that last example, it was a little trickier, so I don't want to just trust my eyes on this. I want to use values that are kind of marked, and then we can kind of see if that is right. I think it probably will be, but just to be safe. So there's pi, and we know that's 0. So if I see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, I'm splitting each of those into a pi over 6. So I might look at this as kind of like, oh, what are my increments? And then make sure I'm getting the same thing. I think this one's looking like it probably will be. So right there was 2 pi over 6. All right, and then 3, 4 pi over 6. Oh, excuse me, wrote a 3. There we go, 4 pi over 6. And I'm just looking at that to get an increment. And just to double check everything, I think this is going to work out. So if I do 4 pi over 6 minus 2 pi over 6, those could have been done in thirds, but I already had my scale as pi over 6 steps. So 2 pi over 6, pi over 3 for an increment. And since I see that same increment from like here to here, that would be the same as here to here. So that would be negative pi over 3. So that question mark there would be negative pi over 3, because that's coming back from 0. So the interval of one period would be from negative pi over 3 to completes a cycle of pi. So the period would be the difference between those, pi minus negative pi over 3. So I can make that 3 pi over 3. Just have a common denominator, but that's a plus. So 4 pi over 3. When you minus a negative, you're adding. So 3 plus 1, 4 pi over 3. And that is equal to 1 period. And remember, we use the period then to find the b coefficient. So that period is equal to 2 pi over b. So kind of get everything solved over to be b equals, you got to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So the b goes to the other side, and then the 4/3 pi gets flipped when you multiply by the reciprocal. So 2 pi times 3 over 4 pi. The pi's cancel. 2 goes into 4 twice. Looks like we're getting b. We are getting b equals 3 over 2. Excellent. All right, so 3 over 2 is b. Now we got to get the phase shift. PS for phase shift. Remember, we already kind of found that up here. It was shifted left by pi over 3, so negative pi over 3. Okay. But remember, the phase shift is equal to C over B. So negative pi over 3 is equal to C over 3/2. So again, want to multiply by 3/2. Right, that's canceling out the whole fraction. So multiply here by 3/2. The 3's cancel. We get negative pi over 2 equals C. And I believe that's everything now. I'm gonna zoom in out so I've got it all showing here. A was -6. Oh, the pen got big again, probably because I zoomed out so far. A is -6. Then remember, this was sine of B was 3/2 x. C was -2, so minus -2. Excuse me. C was negative pi over 2, so minus the negative is plus pi over 2. And way back at the beginning, we found D was -2. So that's our answer. We put a box around it. How exciting.